5 to 8. 8. Brackets really 7. We're betwixt with this hour that we've lost. Bob, you're first man in today. Well, we've already exceeded the number of people that I thought would be joining me at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock this morning. A bit gruff myself. That hour clearly makes quite a lot of difference. Can you tell? Anyway. Yes, this is the 4.5 minute preamble, broadcast. The awkward 5 minutes. That is surprisingly feeling a bit easier. So in it, maybe just to update that a few days ago I mentioned that this calendar, the active calendar that informs these movement snacks, has been translated into Greek. It's now been translated into Spanish, and I believe that our Portuguese professional friends are on the case also. If you think that sounds a bit weird and random, it doesn't really. We do a lot of work, we at YOU LLT, across Europe and further afield. So thank you, and always thrilled and chuffed to bits when people take these resources and want to disseminate to their communities. So thank you, Spain, Shayla in particular. Hello Wales. I think Wales is on the top tally of participants so far. Scotland's in, sorry I shouldn't. Scotland's in. What do you do with a lost hour? That's a strange comment. We can't do anything with a lost hour. What have we lost in the lost hour? We're not going to lose the movement, is for sure. That's why we're here, and we committed to 7 days a week because we need these routines. We need these snacks for whatever reason. Take from these whatever you want, as more or less, as much or less as you want. We can watch back later on here on the group or on YouTube, and we're just so delighted that people around the world are tuning in, sitting down with their parents or linking up again through the internet to do this stuff together. So in addition to the movement, the mobility, this introduction to strength and balance that we're doing, perhaps most importantly and encompassing all of that is the connections that it's not only forging but nurturing and continuing. For me also, I see all these names 3 times a day. Mum and Dad are getting involved with that. It's created a whole new rhythm to this house. So it's affected me greatly, and it's I've been delivering movement and exercise for almost 30 years now. And when you reach out to people and interact with people and see the whites of the eyes of people, it's always a privilege and an education, and this mission is turning into be such an education for me personally. So we're all in it together, really are, and I am absolutely amazed at the number of people that have joined me this early. Maybe there's a whole new market. Maybe I need to get up an hour early every day. Maybe we need one every hour. Don't say that. Don't verbalise that. Oh, yes. Right, I think we're there. 30-second warning, and then we're going to go. What I have in store today is our usual morning routine. Circulation boosting, always, especially in the mornings, because we've been laying down for a long time, so systems are a little bit sluggish, so we just need to boost the circulation before we start to move. It's 8 o'clock. It's the welcome to day 7, movement snack 1. My name is Bex Townley, and we got a movement breakfast snack happening right now to put 10 minutes of additional movement minutes in your bag. Should we do it? Let's just do it. Pick your position, sitting or standing, remember, sitting or standing, and you can change between the two at any time. Even in a seated position, hopefully I'm going to show you that we can be active and activate the posture muscles literally and mobilize upper body and lower body in preparation for stand, if that's your goal. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. Just get my script. It's not very scripted. It's my manual auto cue, just like the BBC. Ready? Standing posture to begin with, and as always, you know, if this external support is going to offer you more confidence or more support so that you can move more freely. So use this or something higher as much as you need. So a few prompts for stand. Hope you see my feet. Let me just roll up my legs. All right, so just take your time to lift a little bit taller, keep some support if you need, and just feel that you feel balanced, steady across both feet, a little bit longer in the middle here, open if you can. That alone may feel like you're working, so you can actually take a pit stop, of course you can, and then go in again. So we're just building up time in potentially new upright positions. If you're in stand and happy to stand, you've got some support if you need. Starting on the weight transfer, just feel the movement. There's no music, you may have music on, I don't know. Just feel how that feels for you. Keep going with that, please, if you're in stand. My seated group then, so for whatever chair you're in, you need to work to shift the weight and just come away from this chair back. Because we don't want the chair to do the work, we want to feel how all the muscles that support our upright posture work. So find your position now, please. Take the time. Again, always, you can take a pit stop in and out of that. Don't wait for me to say that. Find your own way around this. And we're going to start in seated, again, with our circulation boosting. The key prompt here that I've been saying on every single session drives from the floor. It's generated from the feet. All I'm doing here is setting up optimum position so that I can get the most out of this movement. Keep going with that. Keep going with that. If you're in stand, if you haven't already, release the arms, just let them go as we walk. We have these alternating movements, and we've got a little bit of rotation also, that's okay. If you're happy to take a turn, just turn around, have a little look, all the way around, come back again, stepping round as we go. That in itself may challenge your balance, so hands on. In seated, if you haven't already, steady arm, relax, both one or two. Offer some support if you want to. You can add a little bit of drive back. So we're trying to get the elbows back a little bit more. And take a pause. Into back rest or pit stop if you need. Circulation boosting does what it says on the tin. It boosts the circulation. If you need to take just a nice extra breath, breathing a bit deeper, that's good. We shouldn't be out of breath. If you're out of breath, those movements need to be smaller or for less duration. Having boosted the circulation, we're now going to move into an all body mobility routine. So these movements are going to take our key joints around slightly bigger ranges of movement than we normally do in daily life, all designed to improve daily life. So we're going to start with the shoulders. So our standing, if you haven't already started, if you know this one, pick it up and off we go. Slow, controlled, range that's comfortable for you. 1 time, 3 times, 5 times. Here it is in seated. Here I've just put my hands on my thighs here, just so that my arms aren't hanging, just that might be more comfortable. Head stays still, the focus, try to open and squeeze back and down. If I just show you here, up, back and down. So it's shoulders and the upper back. Okay, so it's going to help with our posture, our breathing, and also our balance and stand. Have a having got the shoulders moved, I'm going to come closer for the head turn. So this one is a slow turn and pause to the centre. Take your time. Pause in the middle. Slow this down. Feel that range, and it keeps moving. Mobility means it keeps moving. Da-da, da-da, comes back again. And it's really, I don't want to make this more complicated than it needs to be, but just keep the gaze in the same place. It's a definite turn. It's not a lift. It's not a lift, okay? Same in seated. And then our second mobility movement for the neck, fingertips here, just for a reference point really, and ease it back. And of course, again, 1 time, 3 times or 5 times, these mobility movements, everything is connected, so we can't separate stuff. We do the shoulders first, it's connected to the neck. All this triangle bit here works together. So take your time to find a range that's comfortable for you. Maybe a little bit of march, or you might just want to focus on a bit of march in the upper body here and getting a little bit of rotation as we go. Same in chair also. So if your ankles start to feel a bit tired, I don't want you to do too much. This is just mobility. We can actually lift up and just take the arms only. A little bit in between these mobilities. Now we can move down to the centre of it all. So we need this bit, this trunk bit. This is everything from which our arms and our legs project. So we need to look after this bit, we need to keep it mobile. We've got 2 mobility movements for that. Starting with our side bends. In seated, backside on the chair, feet wide, feet flat. Create this base that's going to help you feel confident, steady and stable when we take a sideways bend. Keep it moving, don't stay down there. Don't stay down there. It goes to a point and it comes back up. If it's not comfortable to have your arms dangling, just offer some support. It goes down and it comes back up. Keep going with that, just once, 3 times or 5 times. In standing it's the same. You can run your fingers down the seam of your trousers if you want to. Come back up, pause. Just control these movements. No momentum, no pace, speed, just ease down and ease back. And we're only going sideways. Okay. So when I move and I speak at the same time, I tend to find this rhythm, and you will find your own rhythm. So just feel that, the right pace, the right rhythm is exactly what you're doing. Trunk rotation, in standing. You may want to take up more support and a slightly wider base. This will enable you to feel more confident, to feel this turn. Fingertips come round. So any movement that's going to cause the head to turn, it may challenge your balance to a lesser or greater degree. So for this one, to get more movement, if you prefer to sit, that's okay. If you've been watching, you'll see that I bring my arms with me on this one. Pause in the middle if you need. But if that's not comfortable, you don't need to. If you prefer not to bring the arms with you, that's okay. Pause in the middle, upright. If you feel that you're starting to sag or droop in the middle, maybe take up a little bit more support, so that we can turn on a better spine, literally. Okay, can we do ankles? In seated, slightly forward, hip walk forward. This is a mobility weight transfer movement in itself. Have a glance down if you need to get the movement started, and then look ahead if you can. If it's helpful to you to continue to have a look, great, stay there, have a look. Can you see the ankles, heel and toe? Don't forget to do both sides. In standing it's exactly the same, but you'll need more support. If you're quite tall or the chair is quite low, this might feel like a bit of a squeeze here in the hips. So if we come back again, just lift the foot and we can take our ankle mobility there. Toes forward, toes back. And when I purposely leave my shoes off for this morning session because we're probably in socks and slippers. But can you try and get the toes involved as well? Try and get the toes involved 1 time, 3 times or 5 times. Don't to get both legs. Not to lift this too high. Keep the foot as low down to the floor as you can so that it doesn't restrict. And in standing it's the same. So either here and stand, or if you prefer, we can do this little rock step that we started to talk about yesterday. Back heel comes off, toe comes off, and we can kind of move into our alternate stepping. So let's get the ankles doing what they're designed to do, which is help us walk. Okay, I'm going to layer in something new because I know you've lost an hour, so we can lose an extra 3 minutes. Why not? Sideways step it. If you want to tune out, turn me off, no problem. Side steps. All of these ankle movements that I've been hopefully prompting and supporting you are so that we can actually take steps around our space where we're going. So let's try now some side steps. If you're in seated, just take a pause just while I show you the standing one. Can you see my feet? It's a side step, side to side. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. And on a side step, we've got the ball of the foot goes down first. So we've got a definite roll from ball of foot through to heel. And of course, the wider the step, the harder your ankles will need to work. If we take very small steps, our feet tend to stay very flat. But the wider we go, we really will need to feel for the floor. So if you're confident and happy in stand, you can relax with that and bring that rhythm together for a side step, or slow it down if you prefer. In seated, we can focus, we can have a look again, and we can watch that action, and it's just a lift and a step. And everything stays within hip width. Doesn't wrap around the chair, doesn't go, I should be able to see my knees and my feet always at the same time. So I've got this little lift placing up, and I'm starting to bring in some hip action. Let's do a calf stretch. Seated then is out, stay up tall as you can, and then squeeze that toe back. Squeeze, 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 feel the stretch. Hold, hold, hold. 6, 7, 8 seconds, release, step and change. So it's just the toe that comes back, just the toe. In standing, I can take a step back to squeeze the heel down, or if you prefer, we can take a step forward and leave the back leg behind. The way we get into that position may feel different for different reasons, okay? So let me just show you that again. I can either step back into the stretch, there it is, toes forward, or you might want to watch what's happening, place the foot down and I leave the heel behind. Either way, if I stand up taller, I get a bog off, 2 stretches for the price of 1. Front of the hip here, heel down behind, and return. I think that was a movement snack with a few extra minutes. Thank you very much. See you at 12. Maybe start to crowbar in some extra sit to stands between now and 12 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Sunday. I can't give you back your hour, but I might be able to give you back a little bit of mobility, movement, strength and balance. So this is day 7. We're at a week. We've almost done a week. How much ground have we covered? See you at 12.